Hello everybody, it's time for something special from Gran Turismo 3, because I was in mood to finally come back to this playthrough, but instead I've decided to try the Japanese version and pass All Japan GT Championship with Nomad Diablo GT-1. So I've decided to check out a set of events for Amateur League, and I had an idea to pass All Japan GT with this car. This is Nomad Diablo GT1 JGTC, and to be honest, in my opinion at least, is one of the fastest cars, not only for Japan GT Championship, but this car is also a good one if you're passing Dream Car Championship. Even though this car have 1200 kilograms of weight, we have a perfect Lamborghini engine, in my opinion a good V12, which is from normal Lamborghini Diablo GT. Maybe few differences between a street version and a racing one, but this car have a perfect 600 horsepower. In Gran Turismo 3, if you change oil just after getting it, you can acquire 30 horsepower plus. And yeah, this car is very good because in Gran Turismo 3, in Gran Turismo Concept, even in Gran Turismo 4 there was a chance to check out that normal Japan GT cars had 460 to 500 horsepower. I'm discounting all LM cars because in concept LM edition vehicles like Fairlady Z, Mazda RX-8 had 500 horsepower, but in Gran Turismo 4 they got much more. And also we have this car that's very fast. And yeah, I had an idea to go back to the playthrough from Gran Turismo 3 because I finally got my PlayStation 2 repaired. This week I uploaded a video from the since busting out. I know it's been almost 7 months, but I had few problems with myself, and I also needed to gain some cash, not only for repairing the PlayStation 2 and collecting new CDs because my old ones were very badly damaged, but also because I had some problems and I wanted to take a break. I've made a lot of boring previews and some casual stuff that was not very good, but maybe if I'll get back to Gran Turismo 3 there might be some good things, something interesting. And yeah, I have this event. Because I'm driving Lamborghini Diablo, this event is actually easy. Yeah, amateur league, but it's very easy. When it comes to pro level, I don't think I might have, I'll have many problems. But as you can see on the map, Lamborghini Diablo GT, driven also by opponent, have second place and a nice lead distance from the rest of the guys. And yeah, is there any difference between this and normal All Japan GT in American and European version? Well, beside of the lack of Nomad Diablo GT1 because of copyright issues, I don't think so. Yeah, you can afford this car in Japanese version because there was a loophole in the licensing. This car don't have a Lamborghini label. I mean, there is a Lamborghini sign on the rear wing, but we don't have a Lamborghini maker on the when it comes to the name of this car. We have just Diablo JGTC, and that's pretty much everything. In American version this car can be acquired, but not you cannot afford it by passing Mistral 78 laps, and I'm not sure about amateur or pro league championship, All Japan GT championship, but you can afford this car if you can choose one of the 4 cars out there. So you have twice a 25% chance to afford this car. In American version you can only afford this car with use of cheat codes or GT3G edit, I mean garage editor, which I was using to acquire this car because I don't want to spend too much free time on passing some events and just hoping for the best. I needed to check out this car, so I decided to use Garage Editor to check out how it looks. Yeah, you can also check out some stuff about it on GT Planet forums. Sadly, this car was an European one. I mean, Lamborghini Diablo was produced in Europe because this is an Italian supercar, but sadly, probably because of this, and maybe because of few patches, differences, and some other stuff made in process, you cannot afford Lamborghini Diablo GT nor any secret cars like Lancia Stratos or Porsche 911 996 GT3 because they don't have any body kits. You have just an engine, but the chassis was changed. You had the chassis of Daihatsu Kore, or it was, oh wait, it was not a chassis, it was a body. Just in case I might be mistaken. Yeah, there was a body of Daihatsu Kore as a placeholder because they decided to scrap these cars. They were just not used because of some licensing issues. Lancia Stratos was supposed to be in Gran Turismo 2000. It was in one demo, but sadly we had it in Gran Turismo 2, in Gran Turismo 4, but it didn't make it to Gran Turismo 3. Probably also because of some problems with ride height, and the tires got into the body. Porsche 911 because of the exclusive license which Electronic Arts took to make Porsche Unleashed. To be honest, that was the big mistake, judging by the fact that EA now is a not a very good company. Yeah, I'm using that term euphemistically because I don't want to have any problems with this. Whatever, at least you know some stuff while I'm passing Grand Valley Speedway in the first race, and you can check out that this Amateur League All Japan GT from Amateur League is not very difficult. In fact, I will have no problems with passing this. And yeah, why I'm saying also this without any problems, because this is more like a commentary in the background. I'm not recording this time my voice during playing this event. You may feel the difference, because if there would be something like I need to record it live, probably you will see that I'm using a camera from my phone. And this time I was testing PC SX2, Japanese version of Gran Turismo 3, from which I made a preview which was not very good, but I don't know, maybe I just wanted to check out Japanese version of Gran Turismo 3 because I had damaged PlayStation 2 and I didn't know what to do. Was it the problem with the console or was the problem with CD? One way or another, I've spoken a lot of stuff. We have the final lap. As you can see, the tires are not perfect because I didn't do any modifications to this. I have only racing medium tires, I've only changed oil, and it was a normal car. No other stuff. I didn't even had a test drive. This is my first impression. Something I might call a first impression, first preview of this car, because I just wanted to check out how good it is, and if this is the car that have a lot of horsepower, if this vehicle actually looks perfect, because I've only had seen it in MadJ155 videos about secret cars from Gran Turismo 3, and sometimes when I was checking out Japanese videos, or just some guys using cheats to unlock this car through Garage Editor or something like that. Doesn't really matter. And as you can see, I can say from this first race that Lamborghini Diablo GT is not a bad car, because you can have it in Japanese version with some problems. In American version you need to use Garage Editor or cheat codes. In European, even though you have this vehicle, you only have engine and amount of power and some other stuff like suspension, engine, and that's pretty much everything, because body was switched and there was a problem with that. So yeah, I passed the first race without any problems. As you can see, Lamborghini Diablo driven by opponent is far away from anybody else, even though there was a slight difference between each car. As you can see, Lamborghini Diablo is very fast. You may see often the situation when Lamborghini Diablo have first and second place. I am on the first place because even though I'm not a pro driver, I know that Gran Turismo 3 don't have a perfect AI, and that's everything I can say. So I passed the first race. It's time for the next one. Now we are moving from Grand Valley to Rome Circuit. You may know this track because in many games I had played like Flatout Tricas and Destruction, in Gran Turismo 5, maybe even in Supercar Street Challenge or something like that. We had a specific path near the Colosseo. It starts here. Yeah, this is the section that we have in Gran Turismo 5, but we are driving from a different way. As you can see, we have Colosseo in the background. Once I had a strange feeling that this new version of ROM used for Gran Turismo 5, not sure about GT6, pardon my French, uses probably the same path, in my opinion. There was the same path in Supercar Street Challenge and Gran Turismo 5. We are driving around the Colosseo and then through a few fast sections on the street. Something like that. I may be wrong, but those are my feelings when I was checking out how Supercar Street Challenge looks, and the map was strangely similar. Maybe that's just my strange imagination. But as you can see, again we have first place. I am far away. Only Lamborghini Diablo driven by opponent is a bit of a challenge here. Anybody else got away from us. I'm passing first lap, driving very fast, because in Rome Circuit you need to drive fast, you don't have many problems. There are barely any sharp corners. To be honest, we have more complex corners when you need to, for example, here around the Colosseo and on the other side you need to pass this first section with not much speed and then speed up so you can pass the next section without losing too much. As you can see, I got scared because I didn't want to crash the wall, so I lost some time. But that's the meaning of complex corners you have here. We might have some 90 degrees or possibly 100-degree corners because they are not squared so much. And that's the whole Rome Circuit. To be honest, I'm not sure if Rome Circuit might even be available in Gran Turismo 7, because some people are talking that for Gran Turismo 7 Polyphony Digital should go back to old tracks, because Gran Turismo Sport was not the true Gran Turismo. We have too many differences. To be honest, maybe I'll have a chance to buy Gran Turismo Sport, even though I'm a guy who likes old games because I can't afford new ones. And I don't have a new PlayStation. Poor me. Well, yeah, that's what we have. There goes the third lap. Pure engine sound of Lamborghini Diablo. Some music in the background. I've chosen the soundtrack I'm using to parts of playthrough because I like the music I am playing. Made by Daiki Kasho, and some tracks made by Isamu Ohira and Masahiro Ando for the old good Gran Turismo 1. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of the soundtrack. Doesn't matter if this is American, Japanese or European. I don't know, maybe I'm a strange guy, but I don't like the soundtrack from any of these versions. So I've decided to only check out these tracks made by Daiki Kasho for Gran Turismo 3, Gran Turismo Concept, and for Prologue, because I have continuation and breakdown here on my list, and also a soundtrack from Gran Turismo 1 Japanese version. Yeah, European version of Gran Turismo 1 and American one have the worst soundtrack I probably heard. I'm not a big fan of Chemical Brothers, even though I'm a huge fan of techno music and electronic stuff. So yeah, that's kind of strange too. So I'm not sure how you're feeling about this music. I really like it when I'm recording these videos. I mean, I'm playing this game, I don't hear too many music tracks. My bad. Maybe if I'll put some headphones, maybe I'll hear something, unless the engine sound and my howling all about nothing and some other background noises that you can hear. Right now, all I can say is that we have this music, pure engine sound of Diablo GT, and also a lot of my talking today because I'm a I'm like a chatterbox today. No pressure, I can just focus on what I can tell you, and that's good. As you can see, I had some problems with this complex corner. It happens, no such thing to worry about. Judging by the fact that I have fast car and AI is not very difficult. I'm not sure if this is because I'm playing on amateur league and these cars are not modified at all, but I have a feeling that they also are trying to drive slow in order to let me win. Maybe. I'm not judging. One way or another, there goes the final lap and Rom. I don't need to take care of how fast I'm going. I can still have 6.5 seconds of lead distance, so that's a nice result. Yeah, you have a vehicle that have 600 horsepower. Normal GT car in that time in 2001 had 460 to 500 horsepower. I'm discounting Gran Turismo 2 and Gran Turismo 3 demo because these cars were strange in my opinion. You have GT300 car that have over 400 horsepower and GT500 car that have over 6 to even 700 horsepower. Polyphonist logic strikes again, I guess. Well, that was pretty strange. Okay, so the tires are getting worse and worse, but luckily I have only 2 corners, almost 7 seconds of lead distance from the opponent on the second place. I mean the other Diablo GT. And I can just drive fast through the finish line and don't care about nothing, because why? I won! Yeah, I can say that this Diablo GT is a perfect car. Maybe I'll have a chance to check out Porsche 911, but maybe I'll choose a separate one race instead of whole event or championship, because to be honest there are not many events and championships where you can drive Porsche 911. And Boxer Spirit is not available for Porsche. Okay, so I passed the second track, time for the third one. And the third one is Midfield. Midfield Raceway, which is a nice and funny track. Some people might not know because the shape of this track, for some people, it makes them think that midfield is a just a little, similar to Suzuka circuit. You have a fast section, you have a long hairpin, not sharp, long hairpin. You don't have a slalom section here, instead you have these 2 corners, which are looking like a chicane. In Gran Turismo 4 they got sharpened, something. Now you're going through this section, you have a tunnel. Yeah, kind of similar, because there is a tunnel, but you have a different... you're driving on the upside and not the downside. Now you have something that may look like driving fast, but there is no spoon corner or nothing like this. Or maybe this was supposed to look like spoon corner, not judging. To be honest, I don't really care about that. Then you have something that may look like 130R, and that's the whole midfield track shape. In my opinion, this is about 10% of Suzuka, but to be honest, I'm not judging. It's a good track for All Japan GT anyway, so there goes a plus to Polyphony Digital. At least this track resembles a popular Japanese GT track. At least a little resemblance is present here. So yeah. Again, second lap, I got away from all opponents because I decided to use the whole speed of this car, whole amount of power. I'm just driving like a maniac because I don't give a damn about nothing. And now we are just driving fast. Strangely enough, in midfield, Diablo GT, driven by opponent, as you can see, is not far away from anybody else. Maybe that will be changed, but I have a feeling that Diablo GT is not very heavy, but he's not just, my bad, he's just not driving so fast. This could be it. I'm not judging. One way or another, even though we have a small resemblance to Suzuka, this track is very short. Forgot to say, this track can be passed in about 1 minute. If you're driving a Formula 1 car, you can pass it in less than 50 seconds. Maybe I'll try that one day, but not sure if I will have a good mood for this. I may have a chance for this, but good mood. Okay, now Lamborghini Diablo decided to get away from opponents, and I can see that R10S6 might be again on the last place if you're checking out race results. Not sure about people on the 5th and 4th place. Possibly GT-Rs are not so fast. So yeah, I'm driving very fast and I don't really care about nothing here, so that's good. There goes a 4th lap. You can just drive fast and don't care about nothing. Need to take a small drift, even though this car is an Italian supercar, so you may feel that this is a little heavy car, but still this is the Diablo GT. Have good aerodynamics, perfect downforce, and it's not very slippery. Slippery, I don't know. It's not very drifty. You can have a lot of traction, no problems with driving fast through the corners. You may not hit a wall. At least it wouldn't be so easy. So I have 1 minute and 7 seconds. Also 20%. Yeah, I'm using this amount because, to be honest, English is not my native language, but I had an idea. I don't know how to say 200 to 1000. Well, that's very strange. So 20%. 20% a second. I don't know, in my opinion at least, it makes much more sense. I don't know, maybe I'm a strange East European guy who likes to play games in free time and something else. To be honest, I had some plans to make something more ambitious, but maybe I'll try. If someone is checking out my channel and some other stuff I'm doing, I don't know, my Twitter account, anybody have free time for this? Maybe there might be some free time for something more ambitious. Anyway, we passed the track from All Japan GT Championship. Again I have 1st place, and again opponent driven driving Diablo GT got 2nd place. Also again R10S6 got the last place. What a coincidence. Okay, so we are getting the cash and getting to the 4th location. And track number 4 is Special State Route 5, reversed. Yeah, we have a 2nd version, so that's reversed. Sadly, we don't have Grand Volley East, Clam and State Route 5. Happens. Yeah, Gran Turismo 3 was a different game. They didn't had a lot of time, so they decided to add only 160 cars. Add popular tracks from older Gran Turismo, made some few more. And there goes Gran Turismo 3. Okay, so I can pass this Lamborghini Diablo. I had an idea to push it off the road, but That wouldn't be a much of a difference. Seriously, this Diablo GT is too fast for all these cars. As you can check out how much of lead distance even the opponent have. We are driving through the section which leads to a nice Easter egg, Special Stage Route 11, which sadly didn't make it to Gran Turismo 4 Prologue and Gran Turismo 4. It was left in Gran Turismo concept files because there was a leftover from Gran Turismo 3. Damn it, Polyphony Digital, could you please add Special Stage Route 11 to Gran Turismo 7, as a lot of people are asking this? I know I'm one of these people that they probably would not listen to because I don't have a huge channel, huge fan base and something like that. And to be honest, Polyphony Digital have a chance to listen to other people ideas, but this is a game studio, they also have their own ideas and they need to focus also on their own stuff. As you can see, we can drive fast here, almost 290 kilometers, which is not such a bad result for Diablo GT. Normal Japan GT car could drive somewhere about 270 before hitting the brakes. If I'm not mistaken, I had a chance to hit 180 when I was passing Amateur League and Pro League, but I had chosen modified cars. If I'm not mistaken, I had a modified for GT40 for Amateur League and modified just like in Gran Turismo 3 demos, so I had Nissan GT-R with over 600 PS. Yeah, that happens. It's happening sometimes, doesn't really matter. But as you can see, when it comes to Amateur League, you can have a basic Diablo GT from Japanese version of the game, and you can easily pass this event without even modifying this car. What a surprise! There goes the third lap. Yeah, we have only 3 laps to go. I mean, over 8 seconds of lead distance, because we have these fast sections and opponents on Special Stage Route 5 need to be cautious. So through these chicanes and other tricky sections, hairpins, they are driving pretty slow. Sissies. Okay, over 8 seconds. Had a chance to make a little spin through this hairpin. Luckily I didn't get away from the track. Didn't lost my route or something like that. Okay, the lead distance is getting bigger. Yeah, it's increasing very fast. Just like how fast I'm driving right now. Perfect joke for the situation. But yeah. Now there might be a slight problem because these stars are getting heated up pretty bad. Yeah, pretty bad, because right now we don't have a green color, but we have it looks like a yellow, but it's turning into an orange, so we might have a bit of a problem at the end of the race. Possibly there would be some trouble with driving fast. And there goes the final lap. Nothing special, to be honest. This race is actually pretty easy. because you have special stage route 5. You can drive very fast through this highway section, and beside of that highway, the other city streets are not very difficult. Opponents are driving very slow. You can hear in the background as they are driving nearby. Okay, 10 seconds of lead distance. So I'm very fast on this track, or AI is too slow for me. It happens. Okay, and there goes the 4th race from Gran Turismo 3, from All Japan GT Championship on Amateur League. As you can see, over 10 seconds of lead distance from Diablo GT. I'm not gonna say nothing about other cars because I don't really care about them. But the NSX is pretty slow. Strangely, Raybrick NSX is very fast. Don't know why, because those are the same cars. Whatever, we have track number 5, a race on Laguna Seca Raceway. And yeah, Laguna Seca Raceway. Even though in 2002 there was a Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, back then we had Laguna Seca. Now this track have completely different name. I don't know whether something, I don't know. But those names are getting much worse. Don't know who actually got those, but I guess it doesn't really matter. For some people, this will be still Laguna Seca Raceway or Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. To be honest, Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca was not a bad name, because this track was licensed by Mazda and used for testing probably. Well, this could be a possibility why it was named like that. Don't know about other stuff. We have the famous corkscrew. There might be some problems, but this Italian supercar had a chance to pass it without any problems, even though we don't have any driving aids. Okay, so here goes a first lap. We are getting to the second lap and a dirty hairpin. Okay, we got there very fast. He's hoping that the next set of laps on this track might not get very bad, because this track have a lot of tricky sections and we can bust our tires pretty fast. Also, even though we have 5 laps like on any other track, this track is kinda longer, and if you also mix it with tricky sections, cutting corners, driving through the sand, because there's no grass, not much grass. Laguna Seca is placed in California, so you might take a guess what kind of track it is. Okay, we got this track passed in 1 minute 18 seconds. I might say rather 1 minute 19 seconds because of this percent per mile, something like that. You have after a second. Not sure how you could be responsible for getting that amount of time anything else than Formula 1 car, even though Gran Turismo series is popular for being the real driving simulator. If somebody hadn't got a chance to check out Jeremy Clarkson review of Gran Turismo 4, Gran Turismo 4 versus real life, then yeah, this game gives a lot of fun, but a real driving simulator? Questionable. Yeah, I'm saying it. Even though I like this game, I can honestly say that there's some doubts about that. But for this video at least, it doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is that Diablo GT have a perfect traction, steers pretty good, and we don't have any problems when it comes to speed too, because as you can see how far I am from the opponent, which is driving the same car. Yeah, now I have almost 6 seconds and not 10 seconds, but right now we are also having tricky sections. Opponents try to drive fast, but that's just another leg of tracks we have in Gran Turismo 3. Now this could be much more difficult. Okay. One minute 16 seconds, not so bad. I can honestly say for now that this car is way faster than Dodge Viper GTSR, or rather Chrysler Viper GTSR, because we don't have Dodge in Europe and Japan. We have Chrysler Viper GTSR. Different sponsors. We have PlayStation sponsor and a different start number or something like that. Instead of 91, we have 51. Yeah, another Easter egg I had found in Japanese version of this game. Pretty nice actually. I always had a strange feeling that this version used in a demo, I mean not demo, an intro movie looks much better than what you have in American version. Yeah, this Dodge Viper GTSR Team Oreca is not the same as you can see in the intro movie and in Japanese version and European one. In fact, it looks a bit strange. Yeah, and also we passed track number 5, Laguna Seca. This time lead distance was not very long, but finally Arta NSX had a chance to get somewhere better, because Nismo GT-R probably had a little accident on the corkscrew or somewhere else. Arta NSX got a chance, we're getting the cash, and Arta NSX got 1 point. Okay, so Arta NSX got 2 points instead of 1, and now we are having a nice race. 10 laps, super speedway, but strangely enough, this would be more difficult. Yeah, I'm saying it will be more difficult because even though we have a small resemblance to Twinning Motegi Oval, yeah, Super Speedway was a casual oval track in Gran Turismo 2 and Gran Turismo 3. However, in Gran Turismo 4 it got changed to Twinning Motegi Oval. And even if I can say that, why this race would be difficult? Because we have 10 laps instead of 7, for example. This race would be much shorter, but we are driving fast, driving fast through these long hairpins, cornering sections, as you can see, something like that. So these tires are getting heated up way too fast, way too fast. So you can see, this is the second lap, just a minute of race. Right tires, doesn't really matter, front, rear, right tires are getting heated up faster, beside of the fact that we might have burned out tires in some way here. So there is a big problem when it comes to cornering here. I might say that, yeah, right now you just need to drive fast, there wouldn't be any problems, opponents would not catch us. Sure, there would not be such a big problem with this, but after a few laps you might be very, very angry about how difficult it is to steer your car. Why this car is not steering? I'm driving fast and I'm pushing the wheel and I still can't drive fast because I just can't steer clearly. Stuff happens. As you can see, now we have second minute of race, lap number 4. Now right tires are turned orange. We have an orange temperature signature. As you can see, it's not that good. After 2 laps, we might have a bit of a problem with driving fast through these sections, and that can be pretty annoying. I'm not sure what's gonna happen when I will pass super speedway 150 miles where we have 100 laps, but I have a feeling that even if I'll get super slick tires, driving fast through these sections might be a big pain in the ass. So you just got warned. Okay, now we have lap number 6, third minute of race. Now we have a visible orange signature when it comes to temperature of right tires. So now we might have some problems. And as you can see, I had few problems here. Lap number 7, almost 4 minutes, and now I can feel that driving through these corners can be very annoying. I'm trying to drift for a while, but still I need to decrease the speed I have, because I can barely match through these sections without hitting a wall. Now I also have, instead of a problem with cornering, I also have a problem with the whole steering procedure, because if you're driving to drive straight in this condition, it's impossible. The car will always tend to drive to this side. For example, we have right tires burned out in a worse way, so we might go right. I had a chance to get 290 kilometers, now I have barely 280. Lamborghini Diablo surrendered itself. Also Nissan GT-R decided to use a pit stop. Yeah, and to be honest, this is lap number 9, so they could still finish this race. It's a shame, a big shame. Here I can barely drive 190 kilometers, and I had a chance to hit 220 on this section. But still I can say that this race was kinda shorter than any other competition I got here. 5 minutes 50 seconds. R10SX finally got a better place. Here it got third one. Turismo again got the last place, and Diablo got to the 5th place instead of 2nd. And now it's time for track number 7, Apricot Hill. Apricot Hill Raceway ain't so bad. We have 5 laps, but instead of that there's nothing specific. Yeah, track you may know from Gran Turismo 2. A nice track, to be honest. Apricot Hill. Maybe I'll have a chance to push this Diablo GT off the road, but the other way, I shouldn't really care about that stuff. In fact, I'll just need to take care of driving fast and don't bother myself with rival that is not very... I couldn't say difficult because he's not difficult, but actually he may be difficult for other drivers, not me. We have 1 minute 27 seconds, no big deal. Okay, we have 5 seconds of lead distance. I'm driving like a maniac, but as you can see, even though I'm driving fast, doesn't mean I'm using a smart approach to win this race. Okay. ...280 kilometers before this first cornering section, and then we can drive through the chicane again. Even though I was driving faster, I took a wide section I was driving too fast through these corners. That is a problem if you're a street racer or race driver, because you need to be subtle in order to win, or at least not damage your car too much. Okay, now we have a final lap. Now that one was perfect, but I lost some time cutting this chicane, going through the sand, and also there might be a little problem because tires my Diablo GT have are getting worse and worse. So maybe that's the problem why I'm driving slower. Okay, and I won this race. Yeah, I didn't know what to say right now. I just needed to pass this race because we're getting back to the same thing as through the other competitions. Again, Diablo GT driven my opponent is on the second place, and R10S6 on the last one. And now we are getting back to Grand Valley, but this time we have reversed version set at dusk, not through daytime. Yeah, that's the main difference when it comes to versions. Not only we have reverse version, but we might have a different weather or daytime. Yeah, you can have a different time. Okay, there's a small carnage. I got a chance to slow down Diablo GT, but not for long. At least at the NS6 for a few seconds might feel fast, might be fast, but as you can see, I just can't try a whole race to rescue one vehicle that should be fast, but something got wrong. Right now I only managed to slow down this dense so SRT Supra GT, and that's pretty much everything. And yeah, also getting back to this reverse versions, you can have a different weather because, for example, if you have Tokyo Route 246, you have a normal sunny weather. Reverse version have a cloudy weather. Here in Grand Valley Speedway we have sunny weather, normal daytime, but reverse version is set at dusk. For example, few tracks, reverse tracks, have only a few differences for this direction, nothing else. The weather is still the same, but sometimes this stuff happens. Also, midfield have the same situation, and Swiss Alps. Midfield have a cloudy weather, if you have reverse version, and Swiss Alps is also set at dusk or maybe during morning, something like that. That's a nice Easter egg again. A lot of reverse track are set at dusk, to be honest, or they have cloudy weather. You can check it out yourself if you got all tracks unlocked in arcade mode. It's kind of fun. But it's also a shame that we didn't have a chance to have versions set at dusk on normal direction, or reverse version with sunny weather. That would be also good. Okay. One minute 45. 1 minute 44 minutes. Not sure if this reverse version can actually make you feel faster. I don't really think it would be something like this, but maybe. Yeah, right now I'm just focusing on finishing this championship. I've said a lot. Alright, so I'm passing a fourth lap and I have found one simple detail right now. The tires I'm having are getting worse again. Also, I am hitting 165 kilometers in total on this 8th track, so I have a strange feeling I might need to change oil soon. But there is one bad thing. In Gran Turismo 4 at first time we had a chance to change oil. During Gran Turismo 3 we have a chance to change oil at all, but not during championships. That's pretty bad. So if you have a perfect Formula 1 car, or you're hitting another very long championship from professional league, you may need to consider checking out some stuff like this. Okay, and there goes race number 8. We finally had a chance to win a race on Grand Valley again. But I guess it's time for something different. We only have 2 tracks to pass. And here's hoping these 2 tracks might be actually satisfying. Let's check it out. Okay, track number 9 is Special Stage Route 11. The popular track from good old Gran Turismo, which sadly didn't make it to future releases. It's a crying shame for Polyphony Digital, because this track was legendary, I might even say magnificent. Okay, so as you can see we have kind of faster track than Route 5. There are some differences between Gran Turismo 1 and Gran Turismo 3. For example, we are not driving through the tunnel beyond the start-finish line, but instead we have a hairpin placed here. The old tunnel is closed, not used anymore, probably because of physics problems. They decided to add a different set of corners. We have an old tunnel, but way out from around here can be visible. Instead of that, this track is very good. Not many differences, still looks perfect. Maybe a few buildings were added, but those are just small details. To be honest, there might be a comparison of Gran Turismo 1 and Gran Turismo 3 versions, but through these 3 or 4 years, this city would have been changed in some ways in real life, not only in the game. As you can see nearby, we have a section which leads us to Route 5. Yeah, behind us there's a bridge that takes us to Route 5. We had a Ferris wheel or something like that in the background. Very nice detail that Polyphony added. Just like in Route 5, we have a highway section nearby, and this section we are driving through is to the city. We have a bridge over here. Some people have thought that this bridge was supposed to be something like alternative road to another district, or a bridge that was supposed to be a little Easter egg because some people had thought that this bridge is actually Route 7 from Gran Turismo 5. It was supposed to be something like this. Can't say if that's true or false, because Gran Turismo 5 was made 9 years after Gran Turismo 3 and disappearance of Special Stage Route 11, so this theory might be false, but some people had these thoughts. Can't say if this is actually true or false, also judging by the fact that Special Stage Route 7 set of bridges have few bounds. I'm not sure. I might need to ask some people, maybe even Kazunori Yamauchi. Okay, let's see. We have over 9 seconds of lead distance right now. So again, we have a nice track with tricky sections, hairpins, but also a long straight section. Can't say if I would prefer the version that was present in Gran Turismo 1 or Gran Turismo 3, because Special Route 11 one way or another is a perfect track. That's pretty bad that they didn't get a chance to acquire it to another parts of the series. Also, if I'm not mistaken, Special Route 11 in the old version, one from Gran Turismo 1, was supposed to be taken for Gran Turismo 2, and it was even present in the beta version, but there were some problems with converting files and the track was cut. That's also very bad. So you had only 2 appearances of Special Route 11 in a whole Gran Turismo. Only in Gran Turismo 1 and in Gran Turismo 3. Very bad. Here's hoping that we'll finally get back in Gran Turismo 7. You have Special Stage Route 5 in Gran Turismo 5, Gran Turismo 6. It was even possible to be acquired as a secret track, sure, but it was supposed to be modified between Gran Turismo 3 and Gran Turismo 4. You can actually see the differences in Gran Turismo 4 Prologue if you have a perfect cheat code. And yeah, and for a change, Special Route 11 just disappeared. Okay, I got a feeling about drifting this car, but I didn't want to lose traction. Over 10 seconds of lead distance. That's perfect. Also, what's so funny is that Diablo GT ain't too far from other opponents. Again, we have this situation. However, it's not looking so bad. And now we have again hairpin sections. But right now I can honestly say that we just need to pass this race, because now there are no doubts that this car is perfect for this event, and also opponents could be fast, but they are not too fast. The only problem I might have right now is to change oil. I'm driving almost 200 kilometers in total. Yeah, just like I said, I didn't even got a test drive with this car before. I got it to this save file just for this event. Yeah, because I had Japanese version, I've made a preview. I got some cash to afford some vehicles. Sometimes I used Garage Editor to acquire these hidden cars. And beside of that, there was not much else to do. Maybe I'll come back to endurance events from American version of Gran Turismo 3. I mean, come back, finally make those endurance events past. I don't know, next week, in 2 weeks time. Right now we have Special Stage Route 11 passed, so now we have only one Japanese track where we can take the championship trophy. Yeah, the gold trophy, a lot of cash, and a title of the fastest GT driver. Again, we are taking some cash, and we are going to Tokyo. Yeah, we have Tokyo Route 246, a popular route at Tokyo which was used by Polyphony for Gran Turismo 3 and Gran Turismo 4. If I'm not mistaken, it was also used in Gran Turismo 5 and even Gran Turismo 6, but sadly for Gran Turismo Sport it was changed to Tokyo Expressway. Yeah, you can be a perfect one-gun race driver in Gran Turismo Sport, because you have Tokyo Expressway. After making this video, I'll have to check out how far it is from Route 246 to Shuto Expressway. Maybe I'll have a chance sometime to actually pay a little visit to Japanese people, go to Tokyo, drive through Route 246, and maybe then hit a C1 route. Yeah, those are my thoughts about going to Tokyo, but that's just my imagination. As you can see, we have track number 10, but that's not a problem that we have last track, but we have a Tokyo. Tokyo Route 246 have a lot of fast complex corners where we need to drive fast. We need to drive fast and we need to be smart. As you can see, we have this corner, we need to decrease our speed and then push to the limit the throttle. Drive fast. On few corners we need to drive as fast as we can. Release the throttle, then when we pass about a half of this corner hairpin, push the throttle to the limit and just drive fast. Spare some time and get a good lap record. And as you can see, again I had a chance to pass all opponents before the end of first lap, but lead distance between myself and Diablo GT might be very small. And even though I have 5 laps, also this race feels a bit longer. As you can see, one lap takes about 100 seconds, 1 minute 40. Here I have 1 minute 43. Sometimes there might be a situation when you're driving a normal Japanese street car. This track might take you about 2 minutes. Okay, now we have lap number 3. There may be a little problem with taking these corners, but I'll get through with it. Yeah, beside of this small crash I got. Alright. So now I just need to take care of this car I'm driving, this Diablo GT, and just drive fast. I have only 2 laps to go, and I can finally finish this event. Maybe get a good price car. If it ain't gonna be Castrol Mugen NS6 GT or Calsonic Skyline. I really hate those Japan GT cars. Well, in some ways, Castrol Mugen NS6 is not as bad as Calsonic Skyline. I don't know, but Calsonic Skyline looks just horrible. I prefer Loctite's Extra and Pencil Nismo. Now this time I didn't get a chance to crash into this wall, so that's a plus. But I still need to drive fast and not hit any walls. Even though I have first place and good lead distance, I need to make a perfect driving style. Okay, the tires I'm having are getting worse, but I can still win this race. There's only one final lap to end this championship, take the title of fastest GT driver in amateur league, take some cash and a perfect price car. Alright, so I can honestly say that I won this championship. There's just this long straight section, and I won the final race at Tokyo Route 246 and whole All Japan GT Championship from Amateur League. Now I can finally check the results, because they might be more interesting, the final results of this championship rather than race results. Okay, so that's impressive. Not much to say, sadly. But yeah, now it's only time to take the cash and price car we can afford. So the price is 15 millions of Japanese yens. That's about 150,000 credits. And price cars. Price car I got for this is Toyota Supra GT. One of my favorites. Yeah, because I like this Supra more than Castrol Tom Supra. And that's everything I have for now. Stay tuned for next video and have a nice day. I'll get back to PlayStation 2 as soon as I can.